Welcome to the Filmistines, the podcast where we discuss all things movies. Join us as we dive deep into the latest releases, revisit classic films, and explore the art of cinema. Whether you're a film fanatic or just love a good flick, we've got you covered. From Hollywood blockbusters to indie gems, we'll be breaking down the storytelling and cinematography and everything in between. So grab some popcorn, sit back, and get ready for some cinematic magic. If you like what you hear, please consider subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/filmistines. We offer tiers at the $1, $5, and $20 level, where the $5 tier grants the ability to request films for future episodes. This is the Filmistines, where movies are more than just entertainment, they're an experience. All around you. And welcome back to another episode of the Filmistines. Thanks for tuning in. I'm thrilled to be here today with my Turtley Club friend, Lucy.
Turtley Club?
The Turtle Club?
Yeah. I'll take Turtle Club. I'll take Turtle Club, friend.
Okay, good.
Hello, everyone.
You can join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for new episodes of the Filmistines covering all sorts of movies, including recently the Insidious Chapter 2 film, our Patreon exclusive M. Night Shyamalan ranking of all of his filmography, The Visit, the M. Night Shyamalan film, The Last Voyage of the Demeter, and of course, the best film of late, Troll Hunter. But today we're discussing an interesting film. I've been looking forward to seeing it. I have been a little bummed, not in any serious way, but I'm bummed to see that not make as much money. Or I should say I'm bummed to see it not make comparable money to the Spider-Man film that recently came out. The Jeff Rowe directed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Is that how you say that?
Mutant Mayhem. I would say mayhem, but fast.
I guess I've never seen mayhem spelled out. Now that I'm kind of looking at it, it looks like just mayhem.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm excited today to talk about this film because this is really my first venture into the Turtles universe. Pretty much. I've played some arcade games here and there at the arcade, but I've never really been a Turtles fan. I believe I've seen maybe the earlier live action movies, but to be honest, I'm not sure. I don't remember them. Tell me some of your thoughts on the Turtles. Did you like this movie?
I liked this movie quite a bit. I think I liked it better than Spider-Man. Although it's not really fair to compare them. They're very drastic, and they both have almost a similar style, but not really. You know, I think each one has their own style, but it really gets compared to Across the Spider-Verse. And, you know, I guess I'd hate to compare it to, and I'm sure the director's sick of the comparison too, but I do like it better than Across the Spider-Verse. I thought it was funny. I thought it was cute. I just really like what they did here, you know. Yes, we have yet another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles origin story.
I mean, I guess just origin story in general. We get a lot of these.
Yes, we get a lot of those.
They don't go very far, it seems like.
Nope, no, they don't.
I guess you gotta appreciate the MCU for that, at least. They take origin stories and run with them for 65 movies.
But I like that. I like a new origin story. You know, they're not here to stay canon. Is that how you would say that?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, they're not here for that. They're just here to give you some fun. What could happen with these turtle things? So
a new take. Yeah. I appreciate that. I like that too.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with the Turtles either, besides some of the earlier movies. Probably the latest one that came out. I definitely remember that one. Was it 2015, 2017?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. And I like that one a bit, but
I've heard it's underrated. I'll have to check that out.
I think so too. I think it's underrated. I didn't know. Well, I didn't know it was underrated. I thought it was liked. I thought it was loved. So, yes, I agree. It's underrated.
That's just my read on the internet. It seems that way. I don't really know. I was curious about this movie rating across the board relatively high. I was just like, well, these just feel like the camp that was like, you know, this is better than Spider-Man Across the Universe, or like, you know, kind of being kind of contrarian to the popular belief. And there might be some truth in that, but I do think this movie is really, really great. This movie's really great. I think it's very shallow and is a little bit more appealing across the board to every demographic, with the exception of the art style. We'll get into that. But I appreciate that. It didn't try to make any deep cuts here and there or set up really anything kind of grandiose like Spider-Man does, and I appreciate that. It feels very kind of complete and it leaves you on a little bit of like a cliffhanger, that, a little tease to give you more. And I think that's very cool. I think it's very cool. I didn't expect the coming of age adjacent kind of like subplot here, but that makes a lot of sense if you're tackling this from the angle of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I guess the ninja part's not really all that important, but the Teenage Mutant Turtles is pretty important to this, what I'm about to say. Being kind of, or feeling kind of alone in the world and not having friends, and be able to experience the teenageisms of the world, and they kind of do through a voyeuristic lens. They go see the drive-in movie and they watch people do teenage things, and it's very sad and one note, but it's a very effective note. It's very good in that way, and it's excellently performed with the exception of Jackie Chan. He's not a voice actor, but it's cute that he's in here. But I think the kids did great. I think our turtles did amazing.
I love Jackie Chan.
You like Jackie
He
Chan?
did an amazing job.
I thought he did better later in the movie, but when we were introduced to him, his voice acting is garbage, I think. I think it's so bad.
Take that back. That's my boy.
I'm just like, when we were, like, literally when we were first introduced to him, I was like, there's no way this is the final cut of Jackie Chan delivering these lines as Splinter. But later, when he saves them and everything, I'm like, okay, he's starting to... I feel like he really kind of started to fit the character, and maybe that's a personal problem, but I don't... his cadence and... His cadence match with the cadence of Master Splinter is just not right. It's just not adding up, and that's fine. Most animated films don't have good voice acting. So it's very surprising the Turtles, I think, do a pretty great job across the board. So that's a very small mark in my head. Okay, but I did think it was cute that they did manage to get Jackie involved in this, and then we got some Jackie Chanisms later in the movie, which is very neat. Love that. But I did want to say one thing off the top, so we can maybe bring it back up. The animation is very cool. It's very now becoming typical of our time with, like the Puss in Boots thing and the Mitchells and the Machines and Spider-Man and everything. It's very cool that we're starting to flex like crazy animation. But the art style here is, I guess, especially the new thing. Like, we haven't seen an art style quite like this. Mitchells and Machines and like traditional cartoons kind of mold together, and then we have kind of a literal adaptation of comics to Spider-Man Across the Universe. They kind of fit that angle, and then we have this weird kind of mix match of animation happening in Puss in Boots. So it's very neat, almost stop motion like, and just hyper realized DreamWorks animation and art style. But the art style here, man, I had a hard time dealing with, because I was caught up on, why are all the people so fucking ugly? Did you feel that? Everyone has fucked up proportions, fucked up faces. I was just like, what is going on here? And are they trying to play up humans are gross and they are the enemy to the turtles at the beginning, at the very least?
Well, I guess let me start off with, I really liked the style that they went for here. I thought it was very kind of 90s.
Sure. Okay. Ren and Stimpy,
sketchbook,
Doug,
kind of.
Yeah.
And they have that like exaggerated look of the characters. And maybe it was the turtles here that weren't exaggerated enough like everybody else was.
Maybe, yeah.
But no, I didn't get that. I just thought that was, part of the style. It didn't really stand out to me that much, because it fit in my head with what they were going for here.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because I feel like Turtles are I don't know when the Turtles first came out, but they feel very 90s. they feel like they fit in with Ren and Stimpy and Rugrats and just kind of this weird, gross animation and art style. And that works for me. I'm sold on that. I don't dislike it. I just think I had a hard time negotiating that in my head, and it's thematically sort of interesting because humans are the gross people here. You know, they have gross. You know, they're rejecting our turtles, right? But I guess the way I described this in my head is it all looks like concept art. All the scribbles and like unfinished stuff, it feels very concept arty to me. And I also think that's kind of neat that they're able to make a cohesive thing out of concept art. That's funny because it's like the opposite of a concept art is. It's incomplete. It's just a concept. But I like that. But I do like what you said about the 90s. That rings very true. I didn't think about that. Very nice.
Yeah, there's definitely a turn here with animation, and we've seen a lot of great new animation in films.
Pixar better pick it up.
Yeah, like you brought up Puss in Boots, and then we have Spider-Man here that was revolutionary. And this is just something else that's so creative and fun. And I don't know. I don't know when the Turtles began. I thought it was in the 80s, but that's just me spitting out a number. That would make sense. You know, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles give me like my older brother vibes. And he's very, you know, he was a 90s kid. You know, he
was a proper 90s kid.
Yeah, he was a proper 90s kid. And he was a punk, he was a skater. He did the whole, you know, almost like graffiti drawings kind of thing. Like, it just, in my head, this is him. Not necessarily what the content here in this film, but just the whole style this film gives, along with the soundtrack, which is probably top favorite soundtracks right now.
It's a very cool soundtrack
this year. Yeah. And they just fit it in so perfectly well in the scenes they do here. And
I will say the one thing I kind of, not to compare it endlessly to Spider-Man animated films, I do kind of prefer the use of the music in Spider-Man over this because it was diegetic, and that's what Miles was listening to. It's Miles' music. So I do appreciate that a little deeper, but the soundtrack here is just, it is awesome. I hate licensed music and soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
It's stupid. But this is awesome. So anyways.
Yeah, I think it definitely fits here. And you know, we even have, I'm not exactly sure which turtle it is or if it's all of them, but there's some, you know, skateboarding here. There's like the pizza eating, which, you know, pizza eating shouldn't be dedicated to a time, but when I think of pizza in cartoons, I guess I do think of the Turtles, and I think of Max in a Goofy movie. Or
what is that, year 2000? Year 1999?
Yeah, around there, I think. Or
and Domino's started delivering in the
around
90s.
that. Yeah, so it's just that time, and I love what they did here.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that you genuinely feel stronger about this than Spider-Man. I like that.
Because Spider-Man, you know, amazing. And the only
amazing Spider-Man.
God damn, cut that out.
Nah.
But really, the only standout part from Spider-Man for me, you know, just personal here, was the ending, because I hadn't seen anything that cliffhanger-ish before. It's a huge cliffhanger. And, you know, Miles fits more like the kind of gangster, not gangster, just kind of like street, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but just kind of like street, urban kind of style.
Hip-hop adjacent.
Yeah, very hip-hop. You know, he's got his
Jordans.
And, you know,
I think his Jordans are like, at one part in the movie, they're on a shelf too. They're not on the floor. They're probably these highly, you know, loved, expensive ass Jordans that he got on day one. He's never gonna wear them.
And he's got the hoodies. He's, very, very urban.
He's real into the music.
He's real into the music, yeah. But then over here we have, like, the punks.
But it's funny because it's similar but different, too. I like that, too.
Yeah.
Especially today. We've got a real merge of it in today's time.
Yes.
So that kind of helps. I guess it kind of helps build the argument that these films need to be compared in some way, which is pretty cool.
And also in their personalities, Miles is maybe more reserved.
Yeah.
He's just to himself. He's in his music. He's in his thoughts. But the turtles here are goofy as fuck, which is...
And they want to be proper teenagers, and
yes.
It's just kind of funny because that's like not a thing anyone ever wants. No one wants to be a teenager. You just are a teenager and you have a good time or not. But they want to be proper teenagers. It's so stupid, but it's perfect.
It's so fitting. And I love it.
Yeah, I'm glad they took the angle of them actually being teenagers. I don't know if that's practiced in the like 2D animation series and stuff over the years or some of the other movies. But if I remember correctly, in the first two live action films from 1990 and 1992 or whatever, they were basically adults. They may have been like, in quotes, teenagers, but their teenagerness didn't matter. And I do appreciate that they really took a deep turn into... It's not really important to the narrative per se, but it is the subplot here that, drives them to do X, Y, and Z and work with April and everything. And I do like that a lot. And then, yeah, Miles, that's probably one reason I like the Spider-Man films a little better, is because Miles is a little bit more of a internalized character. He's brooding. He's also a teenager, and I guess in Across the Universe he's in college. Is that?
No, I think he's a senior.
He's a senior. Oh, okay. And so he's just different, and I like that. I like that you call these guys punks, because they are punks. That's fun.
Yeah, I like that too. I like that. It's almost like they made them, your younger years of teenagers, not quite your senior year. These are probably incoming freshman turtles, not Miles about to go to college. So maybe unlike the other versions of the turtles in the other films,
where they're just vigilantes, basically.
Yeah, but here there are, they're excited, they're ready.
They're too excited, which
like
helps
that.
sell it. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, I like that bit where I think it was Mikey, where he wanted to sign his name so he could apply for or I guess it was the application for the auditions for some theater, and he was like, hopefully in 2 weeks, when they're rocking and rolling, we'll be enrolled. It's like, that's stupid, but that's awesome. That's genius. This is like the perfect, like, when I say this movie's stupid, it is like the 90s kind of stupid. It's just the proper 90s stupid. That is this movie, actually. That's a great way of describing that. I like that. And I appreciate, I guess I can't let go of it. I appreciate that too from the art style of animation then. Because just, the king of art style from the 90s is, of course, Ren and Stimpy. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting contextually, and it's disgusting art style. And the animation is just beautiful because it's hand-drawn, of course. But this kind of echoes that in a similar but totally different way, of course. But.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have it's like a mix with the 90s and modern times. They try to give their references here. He references Ferris Bueller and Adele. I don't know. I think he references Hey Arnold.
Yeah, and it builds this character up. It's kind of annoying in one sense, because it's just when people reference things over and over, it's just like, I don't like it. But it indicates to me that they just spend a lot of time watching TV and reading or whatever and stuff. And I like that angle a lot. I personally had to remind myself that they are cut off from the world.
And they're kids. Kids annoy the shit out of you referencing shit all the time.
Yeah.
But that's also part of the Turtles. Like, watch any old film that's very similar to this. Your punk, teenage kids. And they're also going to be using a lot of references and almost cringy shit that they keep repeating over and over like they do here. I mean, they reference Shrek. They reference so many things. And it's like, okay, like, that's too much. But it's not. It's all they know. It's what they live for.
Yeah.
So I love those small little details, even if they do seem kind of silly, maybe to us now, being, old, cultured. I don't know, but it just fits so well. I think they do a great job giving it their own personal style with the animation, with the characters, with the story, with the dialogue.
Do you like the voice acting?
I like the voice acting. I
Mainly
thought,
for the turtles.
Yeah, I like the voice acting for the turtles. I do like that they, again, kept teenage voice actors. I don't know if they did that for the other ones, but
I highly doubt it.
I highly doubt it too. So I like that all these kids are probably, under 17 or under. So I really enjoy that they did that.
Seth Rogen was involved in this.
Yeah, I saw that, which I'm very surprised. Seth Rogen manages to just trick me every once in a while when it's not a, Neighbors type of film.
Yeah, I really like when he doesn't do his own things. When he's part of other projects and stuff, Seth Rogen's actually pretty good. He's actually maybe a worthwhile creative. It's pretty interesting, and that may have something to say about he became really involved in Hollywood, right, and stuff, and he made all these movies with, his group of friends and everything, and he got to know and mingle with everybody, and he maybe found a path that he really wanted to take and all of that. And I think it's a really strange but cool development because, he's worked with this and the Fablemans and
DK.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I was expecting to be totally turned off by DK in the new Mario Brothers movie, and he was fine. I was like, wow, Seth Rogen's he's all right.
Yeah, the Fablemans.
He was excellent. Small role, but
I didn't even know it was him, really. Besides when you hear him talk, and then I think you said it. You're like, you know who that is? I'm like, holy shit, is that Seth Rogen? And it was fine. He didn't annoy me. So I was very surprised. So it's almost like he needs a team to take his idea and then calm him down or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Or he just, I guess he was a producer / writer on this with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But maybe he just maybe he's an excellent producer and a little bit of a good dramatic writer, because he might be a funny guy and all, but I'd be really interested to see a melodramatic piece like The Whale or something come out of Seth Rogen. And at least in partiality, not in totality, I guess. But however, I think that I'd like to see that exercise come from him after the few things he's done.
Yeah.
Did he come up with the milking joke?
Definitely. That was definitely him. Who else would be that? Who else?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds like a Seth Rogen thing.
He was probably like, I'm not doing this unless we include this.
And how was it? Did it deliver? Was it?
It was okay. It wasn't.
It was inoffensive.
Yeah, it was inoffensive. It was, kind of funny that, we have, our master Splinter here, our dad figure. Like, I fucking told you were gonna get milked, and they're like, oh, we didn't believe you. Why would that happen? Like, that's that was kind of funny, but.
I guess it helps that was Jackie Chan too.
Yes,
he's actually pretty funny.
Yes, I can't give Jackie Chan enough praise. Not necessarily because he did an amazing job here, but just because I like him, and I was kind of sad that maybe we weren't gonna get another Jackie Chan movie. I think the last thing I saw was The Foreigner, which was not a Jackie Chan movie whatsoever. So I'm kind of glad he's doing something, even if it's voice acting.
Did you ever watch the Jackie Chan show?
The show?
Yeah.
Is that what it was called? The Jackie Chan show?
I think so. I think where he was collecting little octagonal objects, like medallion type things, I think. And he had a little sidekick girl, and he's running around different places on buildings and shit and everything. I think it was on Disney.
No, I don't think I watched those. I think I'm more familiar with his older stuff.
Yeah. That's most of his filmography, I would guess. But yeah, I like Jackie Chan too. I'm not familiar with him too much, really, but I know he did introduce a mega iconic fighting style to Hollywood, and completely revolutionize what that can look like on screen. So that's, I mean, he's going to be forever remembered, at least for that.
And I love that they gave Splinter some of his fighting style.
Yeah.
And, we weren't 100% sure on some of the films that the turtles were watching to learn how to fight. But that's hilarious because I guess, some of them look like that could have been Jackie Chan. So that's awesome that if they did that, they included some of that there.
What do you think about Jackie's whole angle of family? That was kind of this like tertiary kind of subplot. I feel like that family's important, and I like that came out of kind of a New York movie too, because it reminds me of like American Italians, and that family is kind of everything at the end of the day.
I really like that they gave him that because these are his babies. He met them when they were very young, and how fucking adorable were those baby turtles. And I know you said earlier in the episode that this was a very one-note film, but I don't think I completely agree with you. Just because of this angle we got from him. And just these very sad scenes that we got when we were introduced to his family thing. When we had that scene when they're still babies and he takes them up to the outside world so they could see, and they basically get harassed by humans, and I guess that's where we have the Mr. Beast cameo, and he pulls on his ear and he's like, hey, is this a costume? And then they realize it's not a costume, and everyone's just screaming and pointing, and it's just so fucking sad. And then a turtle gets thrown in the middle of the fucking road and is about to get run over, and he's just so broken. And oh god damn, it's so sad. And then skip to when he knows something is wrong with his boys. He senses something. They're out and about all the time. He doesn't know what's going on, and then he throws them a party, and the balloons in the background have turtles drawn on them with their mask. And he got pizza, and he's like, I'm throwing you guys a party to experience the outside because I'm so sorry that I don't let you guys go out there. And he's got cutouts of all the Chris's. I don't remember.
Those were all Chris's?
I think so. I think
I didn't realize that.
And he's just trying his hardest to, love them and tell them it's going to be okay, and that he can give them whatever he can as long as it's in the safety of their own home. And it's very similar to what I'm sure a lot of parents experience. I'm not a parent. I don't have kids. But letting your kids go for the first time. Your kids going to their first sleepover, or your kids driving for the first time, or your kids going away to college. I'm sure that, tears some parents up. It really tears some parents up. I mean, some parents go through some psychological shit when this happens to them, and then they're home alone. So, I can only imagine some of what he's feeling here. And I think they do a great job letting us know exactly how he feels. And then, that leads to the, I don't know, turnaround moment for him when he realizes that he's as controlling and hates humans as much as our boy Superfly here. And he has this very, how do you say that?
Resignation.
Yeah, like...
That's what they call that?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
When I think of that in film, the main example of a character resigning their whatever just happened, their previous thought, their previous ideology or whatever, is Josh in Insidious 1, where he's like, no, we're not going to do this with Elise or whatever, and we're not going to let her fuck with our child. And then he goes upstairs and sees the drawings and stuff. That is and then he's like, it's been here all along. He realized, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's the example I think about when I think, and it's a very clear-cut example of it, so maybe it is actually a decent example. But that is the example I think of when I think of character resignation. It's so stupid.
It's stupid, but
it's very clear cut here too.
Yes.
And it's effective. It's very effective. See, this gets into a little bit of the problem with the movie I have. The more important thing here is the family unit, the being with people you love and like kind of, and spreading that where it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't get enough of that in an explicit way. It happens through almost like protestal ways, like where we have the turtles saying something and then Superfly's henchmen are like, you know what, you're right, and then they all kind of switch sides slowly but surely. We don't have big moments, not that we need to have a big moment with all of them, but we don't have really any deep family oriented moments with any of that. I don't know what it would look like. It's not a problem here. I just wish we could have had a little bit more from that angle, because that could have been, it could have been like a switch and bait kind of thing in a good way, where we were set up to think the turtles want to be teenagers. They want to be proper teenagers and go to school and yada, yada, yada. And they do, like they do in the movie. But the real message of the movie is, surrounding you with people that you love and trust, and being a little more open-minded about what family looks like and everything. And we kind of get that. And I just wish that was a little bit, I wish that hit you just a little bit harder. Because they end it on something stupid as fuck, which is fine. It really is. I just wish, for myself, I wish we didn't land with Jackie Chan and that weird ass bug thing hooking up kind of thing. It's just like, and I get it. We're hitting every demographic with this movie, which is, it's very neat that's even possible. And it's still a very good movie in almost every way. I mean, every way it's a very good movie. There's no way to knock this down really any far. Like, this is an excellent movie, period, end of story, through and through. But I wish for myself we could have gotten something a little more, just a little bit more of a gut punch, that how important family is. You feel me a little bit?
Yeah, I feel you. And I like what you said, that this movie is about, being surrounded by the people you love and the people you trust.
And I before I forget, I do like that we have that kind of similar thing happening with Superfly, but it's almost in a cult-like situation.
Yeah, and I think that might be a little, maybe too specific here, or maybe just what I got out of it, because I got that gut punch message, I guess, because it's about acceptance and just love in general, whether it's your family or not. And yeah, they made him hook up with that weird ass thing, and that's kind of weird, and the whole them making out scene was ugh.
Yeah, but it makes it very effective for little kids too and stuff. And I get that it's kind of rounding itself out in that way.
Yeah, they had to, they had to give the kids something here, I guess. Yeah. But I like that they gave him a partner, because his kids are grown now and they're going to high school. He's about to be alone, and he's not going to be alone anymore. He's got somebody by his side.
Yeah, and they do set that up.
And yeah, especially from the beginning, he's telling them about how he's trying to find somebody.
And I guess it is worth saying too that the bug thing, I'm not sure. I guess it's a girl, right? Isn't that what they said?
Yeah.
It's the strange one. It doesn't speak their language. It's the one that's really off, and he finds love in that. And so there's something really deeply beautiful in that too. But it's just, they take it a step too far for me, but it's still, I get it. It's super effective, and it's really cool. It is really cool.
And then to keep adding to that, love message, we have the humans that help save the day.
Yes, that gave me big like the paradigm shift happened and everything, but then they were like, you fuck with one of us, you fuck with all of us, kind of New York attitude. I like that. And I thought that was really neat. I don't love how quick they are to just change after seeing April's spiel on TV. Maybe has something to say about how vapid we are and fickle.
We are vapid.
Maybe something deeply kind of funny there, but I do like that they all start attacking our kaiju, right? Of course, you love this movie more. It's got a big monster, a big, sick, in every meaning of the word, monster. The Superfly
sick and monster
is so cool. Like, when he changes. He's cool. He's cool anyways. I like that I like everyone's aesthetic of the our characters. They're all very neat. But yeah, when they all start attacking him with throwing shit and using, different vehicles to get the package to where it needs to get, to give it to the turtles, and it's just like, I was like, okay, I was like, this is cool. Because that's like kind of a thing, I think, in movies, is like New York kind of standing up with each other.
Yeah.
I think. Or am I just making that up?
I don't know, but that sounds like it's a thing.
I know, right? It should be a thing if it's not.
Maybe this is the start.
This is the start. Good job.
But before all that, before the humans get involved, we have this very awful, awful, awful scene where Superfly is squishing the turtles and the shells start cracking. And I'm surprised I did not just immediately start crying.
When that happened and you reacted the way you did, I was like, fuck, she likes movies more than Spider-Man. That's what I said to myself.
Oh my gosh, I was trying to hold back the tears. I'm trying to hold back the tears now.
Don't hold them back. Let them flow.
Oh man, that was just, like, I don't know what it is about animals getting hurt, or maybe my animal heroes getting hurt. But we have that, so I'm already, in my feels about their little shells getting crushed. And then we have the dad that he's hurt and he can't get back up and he cannot help them. He cannot help his kids. And then here comes this human and it's like, hey man, you need help? And he's like, yes I do. Oh my god, genius. So I don't know what you're talking about, one note, and maybe it is a little one note, but that note hit the fucking feels.
What? Maybe it's not one note. It's mostly one note. This is what I mean when I wish we could have just gotten a little bit more from probably Jackie Chan's character. What the fuck is his name?
Splinter.
And that we just I feel like we missed a little bit of, like, we weren't rejected enough. We got that first fucking gut punch with when the turtles were young and he tried to take them out and then they got scared.
That wasn't enough for you?
No, I needed more.
Oh my god.
I needed more. I needed one more instance of just something. I don't know. It's missing just a little something for me. I'm not sure what it is. I really am not. But that scene though is no doubt probably the best bit in the movie.
Jesus, I
that little where specifically that part where he's on the ground and he's like, the New York guy asks, hey buddy, you need any help? And whatever he fucking says, and that's probably the best bit in the whole movie. It probably is, and it's effective. But man, I just don't know why it didn't hit me like I wish it did. Maybe this movie, it's a rare case of maybe this movie I wish it was just a little bit longer in the middle part.
Yeah, maybe. And it's all a personal thing too, because I think Spider-Man hit you a little bit more than it did me. Maybe not on the field. I'm not saying you were crying here, but
no, I don't cry.
Okay. But it just, something about Miles, something about his internal, I don't know. I
don't know. Maybe it's a relatable thing, kind of thing happening here, because you're a little bit more of a punk. I'm a little bit more of a hip hop. Maybe there's something to that.
Yeah, maybe. Because I'd hang out with the turtles all day before I'd hang out with Miles.
I'd probably hang out with Miles.
Oof.
I'd see the turtles on the weekend.
When you're ready for pizza.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I don't know. I think this movie did a great job showing all the love here. With Jackie getting his partner, the humans helping them save the city, the mutants getting rid of their leader and being able to express themselves in their voice.
I didn't expect Superfly to become a kaiju.
I didn't either, but I fucking loved it.
It was very cool. I was like, because when they were doing the final fight, what it looked like, I was like, this doesn't feel like the final fight. And I was like, I'm not getting these final feels. I was like, this is something's off. I was like, I didn't know what was going on. And then, and then he falls into the
it is.
And he gets mutated with all these other animals and stuff. I was like, damn, this is so cool. Very, very cool. Spot's very cool too. But this guy is like a kind of more traditional bad guy cool. Becomes a fucking kaiju.
Yeah.
We need more. Can we have too many kaijus?
No, we can't. No. Keep making them. I'll watch them.
I guess we just had kind of another kaiju thing with our troll, didn't we?
Yes, we did. And they got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Which is so stupid, but it was... I don't know how people were able to pull... It's just... It just proves to you that you can take something that you would think is not very creative, trying to outdo yourself very Dragon Ball style, right? Things just get bigger and the explosions get bigger and people get more powerful, yada, 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 right? But if you just have tight storytelling around it, you can say and do whatever the fuck you want. It's awesome. It's good. It's good stuff.
How'd you feel about that montage fighting scene? And that's where they play that No Diggity song. And when we were watching it, you said, "Oh, look, that's an old boy reference, isn't it?"
Oh, yeah. That was a really good way of demonstrating our turtles here because they're not really proficient fighters, but they are tough as nails. And they kind of have a Jackie Chan-ness about them, of course, right? And the way they fight. And I love that they use other tools and stuff. And yeah, I loved the panning left to right thing that we, very, very heavy nod to Old Boys, I think. Old Boy, whatever the fuck it's called.
Old Boy?
The Park Chan-wook Korean film. No, I liked that a lot. And it was a fun way of handling a action-y sequence. I don't like when you waste, any minutes of time just fighting. It's got to be either John Wick style or just fun camera movements. It's you really. I don't want to see people beat up each other. It's stupid, and it's a less is more situation. I think 9 times out of 10, and is more effective when it's left up to your imagination, like a lot of things are, but especially I think fighting. But I think it was really fun. I thought it was fun, and it was quick. And I can't think of a better way to kind of demonstrate how mostly capable they are, but like they're still very much students of the craft. They're not the turtles that I would imagine them to be in 10 years. Naturally so. And that's I like that. It feels natural, I guess.
Yeah. I really liked this scene. I just loved, first of all, the song they paired to this. It's not my old-time favorite song, but it just fits so well. And I really love what they did. They would have, one turtle with his own fighting style, dressed in his own way. I don't know if they had stolen the clothes by then or not, but when he would land the punch or whatever, it would be boom, another turtle. And they just kept doing that. And I don't know, it was amazing to do that with 4 different characters like that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, beautifully animated. Can you imagine something like that coming out of Pixar?
No.
I guess not a lot of Pixar things have fighting in them in general, but like it's just these companies in a good way are out of fucking control with this animation. Yes. And how much detail and love is going into every single second of these films. Man, Pixar, it's unreal how much Pixar has fallen. At least from its throne. It's definitely not making shit as far as animation goes. Story-wise, it might be, but it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And this is where I got a glimpse of, or not a glimpse, but this is where the soundtrack just started like kicking in for me big time. And I was reading that our director here was very inspired by Tony Hawk's soundtrack from the video games, which
there's your 90s.
Completely makes sense. And then we have the What's Up song that they play in the car, and then they're all like singing along to it, but it's not the traditional one, right? I think it's the remix, and just it's cool. It's so cool. They're just blasting, singing in the car. I don't know.
We see them. I think I'm not a Turtles fan. Remember that, but I think the Turtles normally have a van.
Yes.
And they get that van at the end of this movie, the pizza van.
Okay.
Thought that was cute. I think if I'm just reading into that wrongly, that's whatever. Just let me have it, I guess. But I thought that was pretty cute that they stole a pizza van. That's fine. That's fine. They can steal a pizza van. What do you think about April?
I thought April was okay, and probably because she's the most modern, 2023 thing in this film. I can't relate to her. I can't relate to I don't know how to say this. I guess she doesn't have the punkness that the Turtles have, or that anyone else really has, even our bad guys here. But I just thought she was okay. There was nothing really standoutish about her here, and I'm also not sure how I felt about about Leo being attracted to her, which is, it's fine. He's also a teenager, so that's a big thing. When you're a teenager, you're attracted to really a lot of people at that time, and it's immediate and it's infatuation. So I do like that, and I like that they didn't make them a couple. They didn't make them get together. So I do like that they had kind of some restriction on that. But I mean, she was just okay. What about you?
She was okay. I did think it was kind of weird that her face was like mostly in proportion compared to everyone else. I thought that was weird. She was kind of out of place in that way. Her body made up for that because she was the shape of a rhombus or something. She had a weird body shape, like a pistachio or something. Can you see the pistachio?
Yeah.
She's got a weird body shape, but I just thought her face was a little out of place. It wasn't fucked up enough like everyone else. She needs to get in line. She's way too modern for this world. That's why she's made fun of. It's not because she's puking on camera. That's funny though.
Yeah.
That's for the little ones out there that puke.
That's true.
It's the kind of stuff that can lose me for sure, but it doesn't, because there's just way too much good here for you to be lost anywhere. Yeah. I'm very happy with this movie. I'm very happy where animation is going, and I can't wait for the next little wave of films next year. I don't know if anything else is coming this year as far as big animated films, but I can't wait for the next wave.
Yeah, me too.
It looks like we're definitely getting a sequel of this, I would imagine. It didn't make crazy numbers like Spider-Man did, but it looks like it definitely made plenty of money for Nickelodeon to want to do a sequel. Right. Nickelodeon's not used to this kind of success, so.
That's good. I'll definitely go watch the sequel at theaters.
Yeah, hopefully it encourages Nickelodeon to work with some of their IP. I know they have these SpongeBob movies come out every other year, and they're whatever. I haven't seen very many of them, but I'm not sure obviously they're successful enough that they keep handing this license out to do different things with SpongeBob, which is, it's neat. They are definitely taking this very liberal kind of approach with SpongeBob. Have you with the art styles and stuff, and just they're strange. It's cool. I like that. It's very Cartoon Network-esque in that way. But there is a Garfield movie coming out, an animated Garfield movie coming out, I think, next year.
Next year, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's coming to theaters. I would imagine it is at this point, because I think Nickelodeon's gonna. There's got to be this new initiative with animation becoming just the king of cinema. Now there's got to be this big initiative of them taking everything they can to theaters, which is cool because it helps build this. It helps put the pressure on to deliver the goods, which is very cool.
Yep.
Who was your favorite of the little mutant group? Did you have one? One of those guys was John Cena, right?
Yeah, the rhino.
I love how he just pops up in random spaces.
Yep, that was weird. Was weird.
I love it.
Yeah, I think putting Splinter aside.
Yeah.
I really liked Mikey and the Gecko. I really liked their relationship. they were just a pair of goofballs just having fun, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I like them too.
And really, all the bad guys, they didn't have much to say. Some of them didn't have much to do, but they were all pretty cool looking.
Did you like the secondary bad guy, the woman with the weird chin and neck? And she was like, at the very end, she was like, we gotta call him, kind of thing. And it showed Shredder, the ones that were trying to milk the turtles, right?
Yeah, I liked I liked the story. I like where they're going with that. But her, she's just okay. She didn't scare me. She didn't give me the goosebumps. I'm not scared of her right now. So hopefully they build her up a little more if she's going to be in the sequel.
I hope Shredder kills her, and Shredder's like, this is now under, this is all under my control now, kind of thing.
Oh, that'd be
awesome. That's what happens, because she's like a nothing character. Yeah. She's just a catalyst right now. That's where I'm hoping things kind of land.
Yeah.
Or start off, I guess, really in the sequel. I could see that being the introduction.
Oh,
basically.
That'd be awesome.
So, not that I'm a fan of Shredder. I don't really know who Shredder is. to be
But it's funny because when he popped up, you were like, "Is that Shredder?" I was like, "How do you know? How did you immediately guess that?" Like 2 seconds in, and you were like, "Oh, is that Shredder?" Let me get a good look at him.
Yeah, that's all I know. That's the only way I can impress you with the turtles. Yeah, I can't wait for the game that's coming out. It's gonna be unrelated to the proper turtle line, whatever that is, but it's gonna take place in a post-apocalyptic turtle timeline.
Oh, okay.
I think it's called Rise of the Ronin or The Last Ronin or something like that. Yeah, no, Rise of the Ronin is a different game. The Last Ronin, it's being made by the guys who made Destroy All Human games I was playing.
Yeah.
Being made by them.
Okay.
It's going to be their first proper big game. So we'll see how that goes.
Is there a release date?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, no, just...
No, they just announced it like a month ago. So.
Oh, okay.
So I'd expect maybe
10 years?
late 2025. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, they're actually owned by a studio. They're actually owned by a parent company who is under fire with big financial struggles right now. So there is no telling what happens with all of these mini games that they're developing. We're about to have an implosion of IP and studios go places.
That sucks.
Yeah, Embracer Group is the name of that company. I think they're a Swedish company, and it looked like it was a laundering money business, and then it got too big and people stopped buying drugs or women or kids or whatever they were trafficking, and things are not working out. That's what it looks like to me.
All right.
I know, right?
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
These women.
Those Swedes, dude. Do you have any final thoughts for me?
Yeah, so this movie reviewed pretty well. People really liked it.
It reviewed super well.
Yeah. And, reading some of these reviews, a lot of people like to reference how nostalgic this film was. And
it's that 90s thing again.
Yeah, it's definitely that 90s thing, but I guess my issue was, or not necessarily an issue, just my thoughts there were, there's not a nostalgia here for the previous, TMNT movies. There's a nostalgia here for the 90s, the punk days. I don't know. It was just interesting to see everyone keep referencing how nostalgic it is, although it has nothing to do with any of the other movies.
Yeah, nostalgia is unfortunately one of those words that we've completely fucked up.
Yep.
And I can't wait until we all gather at the funeral and stop using it. But what did you think about all the product placement here at the tail end of this?
Product placement?
Like the Papa John's pizza. I mean,
the Pizza Hut.
And there's some others, right?
Yeah, there were others. I can't think of any right now either, but I like those. I like when there's kind of funny things like that being incorporated.
Some people have a big issue with that kind of stuff.
Why?
Just bitching the bitch, I guess.
It makes you connect more, I guess.
How's it not more immersive?
Yes.
Everyone's looking for this immersion. It's not immersive enough. It's like,
there
okay.
You go.
Takes place in New York. All right. We should have probably advertisement out the ass, which we don't really, like on billboards and, all the neon lights and shit that they have going around in New York, the screens and everything. But yeah, these things like Pizza Hut, and I swear there were some others. They don't poke out. They don't, they're not really in my head because they just kind of help ground you in the world. So I don't quite remember them like some people might. But it does kind of help ground you, and I like that. It's not like the Uncharted thing where there was no product placement, and then all of a sudden they were on a Papa John's, and then Mark Wahlberg's Sully's like, "I'm in a Papa John's." It's just like, this is weird. Why did you say that? Just don't say that. At the very least, it's not
hilarious.
It's not quite like that. Although they do kind of shove the pizza thing down your throat, which I think is kind of cute, to be honest. I think. Yeah,
I definitely agree. And there's probably a lot of that in their room.
So it makes sense.
And I'm visualizing some like movie posters and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
On the walls. Yeah, I'm with you. I thought I saw like quite a bit of, would you call it, product placement? And yeah, I'm for it. I like it. I'm there.
Yeah, definitely where it makes sense. I only bring that up just because you asked about it in a previous episode. I can't remember. You asked what it was called, and it didn't dawn on me until later. And it's very apparent here. But and I don't know if I heard anyone. I didn't see anyone bitching about this because it's a coherent, effective, complete movie. So it's few people are gonna bitch about things that are actually good, right? So that's whatever. But a similar thing kind of happened in Spider-Verse too, especially with the Jordans, the retro ones and stuff. And the Sony products, he only uses Sony. Well, man, thank you for watching this film with me.
Thank you for letting me watch this film.
You're welcome. I let you out of the cage and you were allowed to watch this film.
Thank you. Now I have to go back in.
Yeah, get back in there. Do you have a budget guess for me today, man?
I do, and this was hard. Not too hard because, animation. And semi-big-ish, Nickelodeon, although they don't have a lot out yet.
There's a little bit of a mold to it, yes. I think, for sure, yeah. It's like, for every minute, it's going to cost this much. That seems to almost be a standard, but what you thinking?
I went with 80 million.
80 million?
Yes.
All right, that's a good guess. 70 million, it says.
Ooh.
It's a good guess. Yeah, it went on to make 166 million, and I think it's still showing in theaters.
Okay.
So it's definitely making money at this point, and so that's very good. Congratulations. And so I'd fully expect, especially coming out of Nickelodeon and Paramount, I would fully expect a sequel.
Good.
So we're in good shape from that angle, at least. I hope we are in decent hands. I hope Jeff Rowe is behind the wheel again.
Yeah.
Or at least a major producer on it, or co-director, or something of that nature. But yeah, man, it's a good watch. Do you have a game for me today? That is the ultimate question.
I do have a game for you today. It's another rapid fire. Not too many. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Vegetarian or Hawaiian pizza?
What's on Hawaiian pizza? Like ham and pineapple?
Yeah, ham and pineapple.
Yeah, Hawaiian pizza.
Over vegetarian?
Probably. I'd like to try the vegetarian as long as it doesn't have onion on it. Like a spinach, black olive, maybe mushroom.
It probably has mushrooms.
Olive oil instead of like more of like a Greek pizza type thing. I could get on with that.
Oh, okay.
But I'm definitely gonna gravitate towards the Hawaiian pizza. Pineapples. I know that's people fucking die on that hill. That it's the best thing, to put on pizza. It's okay. It's fine. It's good.
Yeah, if I'm starving, I'll eat it.
The problem with pineapple is, I guess sometimes it's just not. A lot of times it's just not ripe, and so it's hard and gross.
My problem is when you put it in the microwave, it just doesn't heat. It doesn't reheat right.
What, all the juices come out and fuck up the pizza?
Yeah, I don't know. It like dries up. I don't know. It's just something, and Yeah, I'd probably pick Hawaiian too, but I'm probably gonna be picking out the pineapples. So
That's fine. I might too if they're not good pineapples.
All right, kung fu or wrestling.
I guess I'd rather learn kung fu.
Okay, I'm gonna go with kung fu too. All right, being a teenager in the 90s or being a teenager now.
The 90s.
The 90s. Why?
I think people. I think you had a chance of being cultured if you were pre-2000s, born pre-2000s, and I think if you're born today, you are going to be so corrupted by social media and YouTube and outrage culture that you're just gonna be too conspiratorial. You're gonna be too jaded and cynical. It's just there's no chance for any happiness. You're not gonna be grounded in one instance of your life, and that's it's an unfortunate life, I think. And if you care about video games, the only way you're gonna be able to play those games is if you grew up with them. Otherwise, you're never gonna be able to go back. There's just too many games.
All right, The Wizard of Oz or Ghostbusters.
That's not even a question.
That is a question.
Wizard of Oz.
Oh, really?
Yeah, fuck the Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay. I put that in because I thought you would be a Ghostbusters.
No, fuck the Ghostbusters.
Not fan, but at least something.
Yeah, nothing. I'm an anti-Ghostbuster.
Oh, you're anti-Ghostbusters.
Fuck the Ghostbusters, dude. Oh my god.
So what about Wizard of Oz or Turtles?
Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, Turtles are cool, though. Wizard of Oz, though, is very fucking cool.
All right.
The Wiz with Michael Jackson. You ever seen it?
Of course. All right. Godzilla or Kaiju Superfly?
Oh, Godzilla.
For real?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you answer these way too fast. I'm done.
You said it's rapid fire.
Yeah, but I want you to have a struggle.
Oh, I guess you have to come up with some better questions.
Yeah, I'm done with the games. That was the last game, people. Hope you enjoyed.
All right, man. Well, thank you for watching this film with me, and thank you for talking about it, especially. I had a great time. Did you have a good time?
Yep.
Well, thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Filmistines. You can tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for new episodes covering all sorts of movies. You can listen to us over on Patreon at patreon.com/Filmistines, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the goods. Not Stitcher. Rest in peace. But until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Filmistines. Thanks for tuning in and joining us on our cinematic journey. We hope you enjoyed our discussion and gained some new insights and perspectives on the world of movies. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform, especially Patreon at patreon.com/Filmistines, and follow us on social media for more film-related content. We love hearing from our listeners, so if you have any feedback, suggestions, movie recommendations, or book recommendations, please feel free to reach out to us. Until next time, keep watching, keep loving the magic of movies. This is the Filmistines, signing off.